Hello my bookworms, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sydney. We're gonna be pretty brutal today and unhaul, I'd say well over 100 books. When I was packing all my books at our previous house to move into this house, I did do a pretty big unhaul, but those books that I then packed to move into our new house stayed in boxes for over a year and a half. So now when I was unpacking books to set up my home library, I realized that there were a lot of books that I kept that I no longer really have interest in, duplicates that I have, books that I just know that I will never read again, sort of things. So let's get into it. This is only my second unhaul ever, so I don't really know like the etiquette, but I know for sure I'm not going to be talking about every single book individually. We'd be here all day. First, we're going to be unhauling Empire of Gold by S.A. Chakraborty and Rule of Wolves by Leigh Bardugo. These are duplicates. I have two other versions of them, so I don't need two. Oh, same with this one, Way of Kings. I have the whole like hardcover set right here. As much as it pains me to get rid of such a beautiful paperback, like I don't need it. Next is City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. I liked it all right, but for whatever reason, I don't really love books set in New York. Maybe I'd feel different if I ever visited there, but I don't feel strongly enough to like keep it on my shelves. Book of Night by Holly Black. This is the Fairy Loot exclusive edition, which is absolutely stunning. Did not like this book. Don't need to keep it. Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Su Lin Tan. Made it all the way to about 50 pages left in the book and decided to DNF it. I do not want this on my shelves. It reminds me how upset I am that I don't like it because it's so beautiful, but I can't keep it. Same with To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini. Ended up DNFing this one. Don't plan on picking it up again. This small little stack are all books that I have already read and enjoyed, but I will not be reading them again, and I don't feel strongly enough to keep them. Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Weir? What Moves the Dead, as well as Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher. And then The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, as well as Where Dreams Descend by Janella Ingles. Okay, these two books, I'm still not really entirely sure about getting rid of, but I haven't heard very many good things about them, and the lack of hype surrounding them makes me feel like I'm not missing anything. But I guess let me know if I should keep one or both. The Unbroken by C.L. Clarke, as well as The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri. They look like they should be in the same series, but they're not. But yeah, I guess let me know. Okay. Somehow I have 2 copies of Morningstar by Pierce Brown. Make that 3 copies because I have the hardcover up top. I don't need them. For whatever reason, I am collecting the old Robin Hobb books. Have I read a Robin Hobb book? No, but I do love these old covers. We have Ship of Destiny as well as Ship of Magic. I accidentally thrifted 2 copies of the Ship of Destiny, and when I bought the Ship of Magic online, I thought it was the paperback, and it obviously is hardcover, but I'm collecting the small little paperbacks, which I have copies of both of these on the shelf, so I don't need 2 more copies. Like I just previously mentioned, I have the hardcover editions of this whole series, so I don't need the paperback. Empire of Gold by S.A. Chakraborty. That I should have stacked these together with the other books in the series, but we're doing our best. I have the paperback version of the series that I actually annotated, so that's why I'm getting rid of the hardcovers, even though they are really pretty. No, Sydney, you don't need it. This one is The Woman's War by Jenna Glass. This was a blind date with a book pick that I don't actually have interest in reading. This is a little bit difficult. I don't know what to do about it, but I have all of the paperback copies of the From Blood and Ash series, as well as the War of Two Queens. And I say it's difficult because I annotated these copies, but I really only liked Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. The other two, like, I really don't like that much. And that being said, I probably don't need the special editions of these books either. Like, they're absolutely stunning, and I might just want these for the daggers, but I don't know if I actually need to keep them. Like, the answer is no, I don't need to keep them. But the question is, would I rather keep the pretty editions or the ones I already annotated? So one of these sets will get unhauled for sure, if not both of them. No! But that's a personal battle that I'm gonna have to have off camera. Then I have the special editions of the Infernal Devices series by Cassandra Clare. I don't need them. I have the paperbacks and I don't like this series enough to be sentimental about these 3. So it's time to go. Ice Planet Barbarians and Obsidian. Read these with Caleb for the Weird Words series, and I do not need to keep them. Actually, I might have to keep the Ice Planet Barbarians one because Caleb is writing a like fan fiction called Ice Planet Barbecue. Specifically, that would be exclusive for my Patreon if it ever sees the light of day, but I feel like he might have me keep this one, so I guess I will keep Ice Planet Barbarians, but Obsidian's going. Next, we have Terms and Conditions and the Final Offer by Lauren Asher. I am keeping the fine print because I actually really love that one, but these two I don't really feel super strongly about, and I know it's weird to have one but not the whole series, but for whatever reason, I feel at peace not having these two to complete my series on my bookshelf. So I'm just gonna roll with that, and I'm gonna unhaul these. Don't even get me started about this stack. Verity, It Ends With Us, and Layla and Magnolia Parks. Read these two. I actually kind of liked Verity, but I don't need to keep it. But Magnolia Parks, as much as it pains me to get rid of such a stunning cover, I get so mad every time I look at this book, so I can't keep it. And I don't have any plans to ever read these actually, so I'm so sorry if you gifted these to me, but I just have no desire to read them. This next large stack is a bunch of books that I have read, but I know that I won't read again. Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reid. In the Ravenous Dark by A.M. Strickland. Call Me By Your Name by Andre Ackerman. The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodora Goss. Clara and the Sun by Kazugu Ishiguro. The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. The Beautiful Ones by Silvia Moreno Garcia. The Measure by Nikki Ehrlich. Even though I really did love this book, it made me sob. Gosh darn it. But I don't think I would read it again. Okay, I'll set it aside, but I might end up unhauling it. Disorientation, as well as This Close to Okay. The Inheritance of Orchidia Divina, as well as Little Fires Everywhere. Guys, we're only like a quarter of the way through. How are you doing? Are you drinking water? Continuing with books that I've read that I know I won't read again. Carrie Soto Is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Woman Eating by Claire Coda. Tripping Arcadia by Kit Maquist. The Devil in the Dark Water by Stuart Turton, which pains me because I love this cover. And I liked it all right, but I know I won't read it again. God, it's so pretty though. Yoke by Mary H.K. Choi, which I am so sad. Like I literally, the way that I want to keep this book only for these edges. Will I? Probably not. Sydney, no, don't do that. And then All's Well by Mona Awad. I actually have the other version of the cover, so I'm just gonna unhaul this one since I don't need two copies. House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland. Pet and Bitter by Koike Emezi. Loved both of these a lot, but I don't need to keep them. I'd rather put them back out in the world so more people can enjoy them. My Sister's Keeper by Jodi Picoult. This is my mom's book, actually. Maybe I should see if she wants it back. What Alice Forgot by Leanne Moriarty was another blind date with a book that I don't think that I will actually ever pick up. And then all of these I have either owned for so long that I know that by now I probably won't pick it up, or I haven't heard many great things about them. There's Someone in Your House by Stephanie Perkins. The Best Lies by Sarah Liu. Black Girls Must Die Exhausted by Jane Allen. Something in Between by Melissa De La Cruz. The Immortalists by Chloe Benjamin. This was actually one of the first books that I bought myself when I was getting back into reading as an adult, and I still never read it. And Poster Girl by Veronica Roth. These four, I have other copies of them, so I, again, don't need more. Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, I have two copies. You can see them right there. So I don't need a third. Babel by Arv Kwong, I also have two copies of this one, so I don't need a third. The next lot are from Book of the Month. I've worked with them a lot in the past, and when they first brought me on, they were still doing their sponsorships where they would send you every single book that they were offering that month, which included a lot of like historical fiction and other types of literary fiction that like I just don't gravitate towards. So I have a lot of those that I just still have not read, so I'm going to put them out in the world so that they can stop collecting dust within my household. And then there are others that I just have had for so long that if I haven't picked them up by now, I won't. So this large stack, buckle up. It is 56 Days by Catherine Ryan Howard. Darling Girl by Liz Mikulski. Like a Sister by Kelly Garrett. Bittersweet by Susan Kane. Take My Hand by Dolan Perkins Valdez. The Magnolia Palace by Fiona Davis. The Good Left Undone by Adriana Trigani. The Circus Train by Amita Parekh. The Lies I Tell by Julie Clark. Woman of Light by Kali Friardo Anstine. The Lifestyle by Taylor Hahn. Fiona and Jane by Jean Chen Ho. The Light Pirate by Lily Brooks Dalton. Olga Dies Dreaming by Xochitl Gonzalez. A Ladder to the Sky by John Boyne. Tell Me Everything by Erica Krause. Oh, big stretch. That was a good stretch, baby. Love and Other Disasters by Anita Kelly. The Perishing by Natasha Dion, as well as The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox. I just have to be honest with myself. I know that I won't read them, or if I decide that I do, I know I could find them at my library. I just don't physically have to own them. You know what I'm saying? And now, this next still Book of the Month stack, I've actually enjoyed the vast majority of them, but I don't need to own the physical copy anymore. Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia, which I really did love. I almost just threw a book at Abby. Do you understand that she would never sit next to me while filming again? I just saw my life flash before my eyes. I'm so glad that I caught it. Okay, so I really loved Mexican Gothic as well as True Biz by Sarah Novich. Like, I really loved both of these, but again, I don't feel like I need them physically. Kiss Her Once for Me by Alison Cochran, Anxious People by Frederick Bachman, The Only One Left by Rylee Sager, and The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer. Again, really liked all of these. I think I gave every single book here either a 4 or 4.5 stars, but I don't need them and I hope someone else will love them. Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young. If you know me, you know I love this book, but I have another version that I have annotated, so I don't need a second. Imposter Syndrome by Kathy Wang, The London Seance Society by Sarah Penner, Inkblood Sister Scribe by Emma Torres, Rock Paper Scissors by Alice Feeney, Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid, as well as Apples Never Fall by Liane Moriarty. I liked them, don't need them, unhauling them. This short little stack are Book of the Month books that I didn't actually love that much, so same sentiment, I don't need them. The Mothers by Britt Bennett, Severance by Ling Ma. The thing about this one is I really did love it, but I am kind of hardened when it comes to pandemic stories since I'm an ICU nurse and I lived through it in a different lens, or a very like close lens, you know what I'm saying? So like it was written really well, but it was just not new to me. I don't know, it was good though, you should still read it. Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmis, Family Lore by Elizabeth Acevedo, and These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. We're doing good, guys. We're like a little over halfway done. I forgot my water downstairs, so I hope you're hydrating for me. My throat is starting to hurt, actually. The next little section is going to be like mystery thriller, that sort of vibe, with some like, I don't know, gothic, dark academia-ish. House of Hunger by Alexis Henderson. Loved Year of the Witching, didn't really love this one so much. Secret History by Donna Tartt. I actually have one of like the first edition print copies, so I don't need this, even though the paperback is really nice. Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Really liked it, but I, again, don't really feel like I need to keep it. Sorrowland by River Solomon. I mean, like, I annotated this one to heck, so maybe I will end up keeping it. I know this was one of my book club picks 1 month last year, and I really did like it. Maybe I'll set this one aside. Then Dry by Neil and Jared Schusterman. I've had this for so many years, and I haven't picked it up, so I'm not gonna let it stick around any longer. The Outsider by Stephen King. If I end up ever wanting to pick it up, I'll just check it out from the library. Same with The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones. I've tried to read this multiple times and it just like is, I don't want to say like too spooky for me, but like every time I pick it up, it has given me like the most unsettling feeling I can ever describe. I think because I'm worried about there being animal gore. Okay, how about this? Tell me below if you've read this, if I need to be worried about like on-page animal abuse. I could probably just Google that. I'm gonna Google that, and if there is, then I'm not gonna keep it, but if there isn't, then I will keep it and push through. That's what I'm worried about. Mostly because there's a deer on the cover, and I don't want one to die. And then There Were None by Agatha Christie. I don't think I'll pick it up, especially because I read The Decagon House Murders, which I did like, but it's sort of like a retelling of this one, and I'm someone who, if there's a certain version that I have experienced and I already know where the story is kind of gonna go, I don't want to spend my time reading another version when I kind of already know where it's gonna go. Like, I don't know, I'm an impatient person, so I'm just gonna say that I've kind of read this one by reading this one and just give them both away. The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson, If I Disappear by Eliza Jane Brazier. I don't think I'll read this one. If I do anything, I'll watch it. If I Disappear, I've not heard good things about it, so I can listen to it on my Libby app or something if the hankering arises, but yeah, I don't need to keep it. Same with this one, Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. I know a lot of you were in my last reading vlog telling me that you think that I should keep this one. I just, in my heart, I have no desire to read it. I'm sorry that I gave it as an option and got hopes up, but like, I don't think that I will read this. Again, library is a thing, but I don't want to keep looking at it. The rest of these like mystery, thriller, horror vibes are ones that I have read and I don't need to keep them on my shelves. Specifically with thrillers, I know I will not read them again because like I just said about the retellings, like if I already know what's gonna happen, I'm not gonna reread them. Time is precious and I don't want to reread a book that I already know exactly what's gonna happen, especially when the point of reading a thriller for me is to be surprised. Like I'm not gonna be surprised again, you know what I'm saying? Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix, as well as My Best Friend's Exorcism. I actually read this one on the trip that I got engaged on, so maybe I should keep it, but I also just didn't really like it that much, so I'm not gonna keep it. The Stranger Upstairs by Lisa M. Matlin, Hidden Pictures by Jason Recklick, No Exit by Taylor Adams, as well as Notes on an Execution by Danya Kufaka. Some of these I liked, some of them I didn't like, and either way, I don't want them. Only Daughter by Anna Snoekstra, Violin Conspiracy by Brendan Slocum, Something in the Water by Catherine Steadman, They Never Learn by Lane Fargo, No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole, In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead, as well as Plain Bad Heroines by Emily M. Dansforth. Same with the last stack. I did actually like all of these, and yet they're getting on hold. Very quick, we're gonna go through some poetry, nonfiction, and middle grade and classics. Then we're gonna take a quick water break while I get a new battery for my camera. Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I have a different version. Stories by Edgar Allan Poe. We have other editions and I don't need this small little one. The first book in the Nevermore series, I don't read middle grade, and I have teacher friends who would like these, so I'm going to give them to her. We have Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston, as well as the first 2 books in the Pages & Co. series by Anna James. I'm sure these are lovely books. I mean, I know I've read Amari and I really liked that one, but I'm sure these other ones are absolutely lovely. I don't foresee myself reading them, so I'm not gonna hoard them when I know that there are people in the world who want them. The complete collection 2 of Orange by Ishigo Takano, I'm actually keeping the first complete collection because I really liked that one, but I didn't feel as strongly about the second. Death Note, the Black Edition, which is really fun, but I just felt like merp about it, so I don't really need to keep it. Oh, similarly, Orange, the little future one, it's like a little short version of like what happens in the future. I'm just keeping the first collection. The Motor Crush, as well as Paper Girls graphic novels. I just don't read a lot of graphic novels. Okay, we have a couple poetry collections. Crush by Richard Seiken. I Wrote This For You by Ian Thomas. And then a couple nonfiction. The Marshmallow Test by Walter Mischel, as well as 4,000 Weeks by Oliver Berkman. Time for a break. Okay, home stretch, folks. I forgot about these 2 that were sitting downstairs because I'm actively letting a couple of my friends borrow them and probably will unhaul them after they're done with them. Red Rising is the first book in the series. And I already talked about the other ones, but I have the hardcover if you've forgotten. Then The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow. This one was super fun. I liked it a lot. Sort of like a younger version of The Starless Sea, in my opinion. But okay, now we have a lot of young adult, all right? Don't get butthurt about any of these. I don't read a lot of young adult anymore, and there are quite a few titles in these stacks that I've owned for so long. So this first little stack in particular, because I don't need to own them, and again, the library is a beautiful resource that I utilize quite frequently. Under Shifting Stars by Alexandra Latos. I Was Born for This by Alice Oseman. On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, whenever there's music in a book, I just am way less inclined to pick it up, which doesn't make sense because I love music, but I don't like to read about music. I don't understand the disconnect. I don't. Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I love the Illuminae files. So I guess let me know down below if you think that I would like this or if I should keep this one. Maybe I'll set this one aside for now and I'll see if anyone tells me if I should keep this one or not. As well as Punching the Air by Ibi Zoboy and Yusuf Salam. This book is told in prose and there's some like mixed media sort of vibes going on too. It's absolutely stunning, but I know I won't read it again, and so I want to put it back out into the world for sure. These are some that I have enjoyed and I really would recommend. Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. Darius the Great Is Not Okay by Adab Karam. Last Night at the Telegraph Club by Melinda Lowe. I love this one. Ah, no! We were doing so well. I Wish You All the Best by Mason Deaver. Loved this book a lot. Tweet Cute by Emma Lord. The Way to the Stars by Kay Ingram. The Lesbiana's Guide to Catholic School by Sonora Reyes. Monday's Not Coming by Tiffany D. Jackson. This one's really good. Same with Elatsoe by Darcy Little Badger. Hi, Abby. Here are a couple of series that I either don't plan on reading or don't plan on continuing. One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. A Song of Wraiths and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown. Really liked this one, but I don't feel intrigued enough to pick up the second one, if that makes sense. The Magician's Trilogy. I mean, I bought this when I was just really excited to be reading again. And I had already watched the series on Netflix and really, really loved it. So I really just wanted to own the series, but I'm past that now. We've grown and I don't need to keep them. The Scythe Trilogy by Neil Schusterman. I have some special editions right behind me that I would rather keep more. As well as the Islands of Blood and Storm duology and the Teen Killers Club. These ones I guess I just don't have any plan on reading ever. Warcross by Marie Lu. Girl Made of Stars by Ashley Herring Blake. I've heard nothing but great things about this, but I think my time for it has passed, and I don't think that I'll actually read it. It looks really cute though, and I'm sure I would have loved it when I was little. Or I'm sure I would love it now still, but I just would rather read other things over that. You know what I'm saying? The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy by Megan Bannon. It's a very cute edition, but full disclosure, since it's so cute, it makes me want to read it less. Like, it feels like it's gonna be too cutesy for me and my like dark disposition. I don't know, it's giving like Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, which I also unhauled recently, by the way. I sent it to Daryan over in Canada. But yeah, I don't know. I'm judging it by its cover and I'm sorry about it, but I just don't feel like I'll read it. The Kindred by Alicia Dow. Kingdom of the Wicked by Carey Maniscalco. This was gonna be my attempt at reading this author, but I was told in my last vlog where I asked for help on keeping or unhauling books, I was told to unhaul this one. So I'm gonna listen. Fever Dream by Samantha Schweblin. I actually liked this one a good deal, but I don't think that I would ever reread it. You Must Not Miss by Katrina Leno. I actually like have bad vibes with this book. Bad vibes are associated with this title. I remember reading it and just feeling gross. Was I going through something externally while I was reading this? I don't know, maybe, but also like I don't want to keep it, even though it's a beautiful cover, and I still gave it like a 3.5. Black Flamingo by Dean Atta. Really did enjoy this one. Whenever a book is written in prose, like I'm so inclined to love it, and I did love it, but I don't need to keep it. Chouette by Claire Ostetsky. I actually DNF'd this one and I don't ever plan on picking it up again. 2 more stacks. We have Watch Over Me by Nina LaCour. Love this cover so much, but the hype surrounding this one made me actually not love the book a whole lot. Not that like the hype did it, but like I was expecting to love it and I ended up not loving it is what I'm saying. Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi is so cute. I love this book cover and I loved the first half of it, but I ended up not loving the whole entire collection, so I don't need to keep it, unfortunately. The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. I mean, honestly, I really did love this book and it's a really nice paperback. I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like I need it though. I don't feel like I need it. I'll unhaul it. Wilder Girls by Rory Power. Read this so long ago. Nick and Charlie by Alice Oseman. Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. Love this book. Love it. But I know I won't reread it, so I'm gonna put it back out into the world. Just like a lot of these books, these are specifically in a stack to give to my friend who teaches middle schoolers, and I plan on sending all of these and quite a few others in the other stacks with her as well. Loveless by Alice Oseman. Such a good book. The Last True Poets of the Sea by Julia Drake. I wish that I read this book when I was younger because I loved it now, and I know that it would have made an impact on me when I was in middle school probably, so I want to hopefully have some child read it and have that experience. Cinderella's Dead by Kaylin Barron. I actually really love this one, especially since I don't like retellings that much. This one surprised me and I hold it very highly. Summer of Salt by Katrina Leno. Like, this makes me almost want to keep this one because I really do love this book. I love this book, but the fact of the matter is I know that I won't reread it again. I don't know, would I? I really loved it. Oh, I think I'm gonna keep it or let her classroom borrow it and then get it back in the summer. I'll probably do that, but I won't completely get rid of this one. I liked it too much. Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch. Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. Adore this book. The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo as well. Obviously this one is predominantly told in prose and it's phenomenal. Phenomenal. Fat Chance for Charlie Vega by Crystal Maldonado. Such a cute cover, but this is one that I bought it when it first came out. I haven't read it, but I've heard really good things about it, so I really hope that there are some kids within my friend's class that end up really liking it. Next, we have Bridge of Clay by Marcus Zuzak, which unless I get a comment down below about how good it is, I don't think that I'll actually pick it up, but let me know. Love Boat Taipei by Abigail Hing Wen. I liked this a lot when I read it, and I'm excited for the adaptation to come out, but I probably won't read it again. Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Booley. Definitely gonna give this to my friend to put in her classroom. I really loved this. House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I have a different copy or edition of it with some sprayed edges, so I'm going to go ahead and donate this one. Felix Ever After by Kaysen Calendar. Adored this book. Excited for another teen to pick it up. The Infinity Courts by Kemi Dawn Bowman. Loved Starfish by this author, but I still haven't picked this one up and I don't think that I will. Similarly to Love and Gelato, this is Love and Luck by the same author. And then this last stack are all books that I've owned for so long and I just need to be honest that I don't think I'll actually read them. A Song Below Water by Bethany C. Morrow. This is a book that I was really excited about, but then I read some reviews about it that weren't super positive and it bummed me out, and so I just lost the excitement. Even though it's probably still pretty good, I am just gonna put it back into the world. It's so beautiful. The Dead in the Dark by Courtney Gould. This is one that I don't know if I should keep or not, but I think I'm going to unhaul it unless someone tells me otherwise. You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. Definitely gonna go in the stack I'm giving to my teacher friend. It has such a cute cover, and this is one of the the YA contemporaries that I think that I actually would really like. Maybe I'll read it before I give it away because I think it sounds really cute. A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Lee. This is another one that like I heard some negative reviews about it and it bummed me out and I hadn't picked it up and I still haven't, so I'm just gonna not lie to myself anymore. Blackout by a bunch of authors. Again, this is like a New York thing. I don't know why. I've read a couple of the short stories within it and did like it, but like I said, there's some disconnect with me in New York. Serpent and Dove by Shelby Marin. I don't know, like this one was super hyped when it first came out, and I think that if it was an adult series, I would keep it, but since it's YA, I'm more inclined to pick up other series, so I'm going to put it back out into the world. Counting Down with You by Tashi Boyan. This is such a cute premise, but YA romance is kind of hit or miss for me. I have to really be in the mood, and I haven't been in the mood since I bought the book, unfortunately, so I'm going to unhaul her. A Very Large Expanse of the Sea by Tahira Mafi. I've heard nothing but good things about this book, and I do think that I could enjoy it, but this is one of those books that I've owned for over 3 years, and I feel like that's too long. I would have read it by now if I was going to read it, sort of thing, so I'm just going to be honest with myself and unhaul her. Same exact thing with this one, The Night Diary by Vera Hirandani. I think this is a middle grade actually, and it's such a beautiful cover, but again, I've owned it for far too long. Lost in the Neverwoods by Aiden Thomas. When I bought this, did not realize that it was sort of like a Peter Pan retelling, and even though Cinderella is Dead has proven to me that I could like retellings, doesn't mean that I'm always excited to pick them up, and I've owned this one since it came out, and I just don't foresee myself picking it up. And then Who I Was With Her by Nita Tyndall. Just another one of those YA contemporaries that I think that the excitement for it for me has passed, and so I'm just gonna put it back out into the world so that someone could actually read it and have it not collect dust here. We did it. Good work, everyone. Well, okay, there is another small little stack that while I was making these stacks that we actually talked about, I put a couple more aside that I was like, maybe I will keep them. So let me show you this stack and you tell me down below if you think that there are any that I would personally like. Okay, help me out. Ready? Okay, so I'm gonna put a little picture up right here. Some of these y'all have already told me that you wanted me to keep, like A Marvelous Light, The Gracier, Happiness Falls, the Simone St. James book, but the others, like, let me know. Let me know again. Double down if you feel super strongly about some of them. Like the Song of Achilles, don't tell me to keep that one. That one I should have taken out of the stack. I've read that one. I really liked it. I just need to determine if I actually want to keep it. Ignore that one. But all the others, I'm pretty interested in seeing what you guys would say. So that's it. I'm excited to see how many books I'm actually unhauling. That felt like a lot of books. My throat literally hurts. So that being said, thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me for a little bit. If you are still watching, then leave me the X emoji down below in the comments if you don't know what else to say. And while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Always appreciate your support. And of course, be kind to one another and happy reading. Bye.